Hello, good morning. It is 1 week since I posted the last video. So I wanted to do what I say I'd do, which is be honest and give a regular update. Um, Before I start, much in the style of NPR, I just want to tell you that this vlog, whatever you want to call it, was brought to you by Body by Dima. Um, Dima Havaleshko was actually my surgeon, and he jokingly was upset that I hadn't put a tag on his name in the last video, so I will call him out. Also, I want to call out the staff at Wentworth Douglas Hospital in Dover, New Hampshire. They're the folks that took care of me where the operation was performed, and they were great. Obviously, I haven't seen the bill yet, but I was very happy with my experience. It was much better than I expected. It was my first time ever in hospital, first time ever being put under a whole lot of firsts, and they were very good. So, what has happened in the last 7 days? So, the last 7 days has been pretty much protein shakes, lots and lots of protein shakes, and I can tell you, I'm pretty tired of protein shakes. Ice popsicles, sugar-free ice popsicles, sugar-free Jello, and lots and lots of water. And also, I did about 10, 11 miles walking. So that pretty much was actually from about the day after I got home was when I started that. So we did that all day. So the dog's been very happy with that. There's a couple of things that happened that were kind of interesting. As many of you probably know, I live in an aviation community, and this Saturday we had a fly-in, and lots of people bring food to the event. I took some homemade pies. I made about 45 pies, and part of the process of making those pies was stripping down the chicken, a rotisserie chicken. And it was kind of interesting because normally if I had a rotisserie chicken, then that skin of the chicken's going straight in my mouth whilst I'm stripping it down. So I didn't eat the skin of the chicken. I didn't eat any of the chicken, but I can tell you that the dog is loving what's happening because he's getting all the skin of the chicken and all the other bits that would already be left around. So he's very happy. And fortunately, the pies did go down really well. But it was definitely interesting preparing food and not being able to try it. So hopefully the Tex-Mex pies weren't too spicy. But I think it all went well. So let's see what else has happened. Weight loss has been kind of like nutty crazy. So my weight on the day of the surgery was 390 pounds. My weight this morning is 373 pounds. So that is approximately 17 pounds in about a week, which I think is a little crazy. And to be honest, at one point I was a little concerned that, oh my God, this weight's coming off maybe way too quick. But, you know, I didn't know where it was going because I didn't seem to be peeing that much more than usual. And I definitely wasn't pooping. But it's going somewhere, so I guess maybe I've already got bad breath and it's all coming out my mouth at the moment. Talking of pooping, I said this is going to be a very honest discussion. One of the things they want you to do is to have pooped within 4 days of the operation. So you do kind of take Miralax that you start before the operation and you continue after the operation. And if you haven't pooped during the 4th day, they want you to take a Ducalax suppository. And here's what I'm going to say. If you're a big person, get one with an applicator because, again, way oversharing. Your finger can only go so far, and that suppository tends to just come right back on out. So I didn't get mine with an applicator, but fortunately, I have had women stay at my house, and my guest bathroom was full of tampons and Tampaxes in the cupboard. And they come with an applicator, which turns out can double. So I figured that it was better to use that because it was sterile than using, say, a pencil or some other object. So I can happily say that I did poop on the evening of the 4th day. Let's see. So, yeah, protein shake's a little bit crazy. The hardest thing is actually still drinking the 64 ounces of water. And the thing that actually makes that harder is that you can't drink for 30 minutes before you have like a meal, as in protein shake, and you can't drink for 30 minutes after. So, you know, I've always been used to, like, if I'm having a drink, I'll have a, if I'm eating something, I'll have a swig of water or something, help wash it down, whatever. And you can't do that because basically the stomach's so small, it can just kind of pass on straight through you. So uh, that's been the hardest thing. And what I have done is, just constantly sipping throughout the day. And when I'm walking, I wear my Camelback, and I'm just kind of constantly sipping as I drink that. And I think that's been really important because it's been pretty hot and humid, so it can get quite sweaty walking around, and obviously that's water that's coming out of my body, so I need to replenish that, and hopefully I'm replenishing it faster than I'm losing it. But I have done the 64 ounces of water a day, but it is kind of tricky because I can't just chug. I can't just go glug, 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 which is definitely my routine before. So if I forget to drink, then I can't just suddenly catch up. So what else? I think I mentioned I'm really tired of the protein shakes, and I have got lots of different flavors. But after a while, they all kind of taste the same. But yesterday was a big day because yesterday meant I could start having things like pureed fruit within something like a smoothie or tomato soup. And I tell you, tomato soup, even when it's been blended with a ton of protein powder, tasted really good yesterday. So that was great. And today I'm going to have a homemade smoothie made with like half a banana and some, it's called Fairlife milk, which is, a special kind of milk, and some banana essence in there. I think that's kind of how it is. The wounds are healing great. I did go see the surgeon day before yesterday for a follow-up, and things are progressing really well. He did point out a couple of errors in my first video, so I will mention that for some reason I thought he'd said that he'd removed like 4 pounds of my insides when he did the operation. That isn't true. He said he just removed a tiny part of my stomach, which was no longer needed. So there wasn't 4 pounds removed. So that kind of explains some of my calculations with the water and the fluids that I was confused by last week. Like, where did I put this weight on from? But there is actually, he has a great video. If you want to watch the operation, I'll post it in the like description of this video that shows an entire video of the internal cameras and things of this operation that was done. Because I don't know, I found it interesting, but I also find Dr. Pimple Popper interesting, so I might be different. Interesting thing happened on Monday night. So Wentworth Douglas has a great program for their weight loss, and they had a program done by a couple of their medical experts, dietitians. I'm not sure their exact roles, but it was on managing stress eating. Now, personally, I don't think I've ever eaten, but I think I did eat out of boredom. Anyway, so there was this session, and this session, as I said, done by a medical institution, by medical professionals as the speaker, and also it was shared with this Facebook group for these for bariatric patients. And people have been very honest in this group. They talk about their periods, they talk about their tube sock boobs, they talk about their PCOS, they talk about all sorts of stuff. Nothing that I think's out of order because, adults, medical technicians in there. Anyway, so on this conference call, they were looking for ways to de-stress. So, walk the dog, pet the dog. Some people say go for a sleep. And the speaker's still asking for feedback. So I said something that is medically recognized as a stress reliever. I said, masturbation. And the speaker didn't react too kindly to that and quickly removed the comment in the speaker chat. And I was like, okay, they obviously don't want to explain that this is a recognized thing in the medical field as a way to de-stress. I figured, okay, up to them. But I was a little disappointed because I thought it was an educational moment where they could actually tell people, yep, this is a valid way to de-stress. Anyway, so the next morning, I get a call from the hospital saying that people had phoned up to say they were uncomfortable with what I said. So I was like, Okay, well, I apologize. But having apologized, I'm kind of like a little put out. I mean, this is a medical institution with medical experts doing the presentation. And I felt if they'd done this properly, they would have explained to the people who complain, this may not be for you, but actually for a lot of people, masturbating is a great stress relief. And it's not like I used a crude, jerk off, wank, rub the bean, whatever type comment when I said masturbation. I said masturbation. And I don't think that's a word that's banned in radio or anything like that. So I was very surprised by that. So I'd be really interested to hear your feedback, because if I'm in the wrong there, I'd like to know it. But I'm like, if I'm taking part in a event that's being run by adults, only attended by adults, and they're medical experts in their field, I would expect to be able to say something, if they're asking on ways of doing something, that there are literally studies about in the medical field on how to de-stress. So let me know what you think. Was I in the wrong? Was I in the right? I mean, I'm not going to withdraw my apology. Obviously, it made them uncomfortable, but I personally think they missed an opportunity to educate their patients there. So yeah, me, obviously, speak my mind, as you see, be pretty honest. Let's see, how's the belly looking? Well, I can show you my scars actually look pretty good. They're still healing, but I've had no warmness, no pussiness or anything like that. Nothing to squeeze, nothing to pick. It's doing all right. Can I notice where the 17 pounds are yet? Not really. My belt's certainly looser. If you think my face is thinner, I actually just shaved some of my beard off. But personally, I haven't really noticed anything yet. We'll see. I haven't tried fitting into different clothes or anything. My clothes have always been kind of stretchy. But give me your feedback. If there's any questions you've got you'd like me to ask, just post them in the comments. I'm happy to. Thank you to the people that subscribed. If I get 993 more, YouTube will start paying me money. But again, thank you to the staff at Wentworth Douglas, and thank you to Body by Dima. Hopefully this is going to be an incredible journey. Thank you very much.